to the first of my weekly Hangouts. My name is Richard Jones, and I am the founder of The Entrepreneur's Best Kept Secret. My role is that I now coach entrepreneurs who want to develop their business, or maybe they've got to a situation where maybe they're unsure how to move forward, so they want some help in developing their business forward and to take their business forward in order for them to develop, to reach their potential and to reach their long-term goals. My past primarily includes working within the health service, and some of the roles I did whilst working in the health service were in management, which included mentoring staff and supporting staff, and training. Training was quite a big part of my role, as was mentoring staff, which meant that I was able to help people develop in the health service. But this also went on outside the health service. I also had a role helping staff to develop their knowledge, skills and abilities outside of the health service as well. So that was of use, particularly with the other part of my role, which I did for quite a long time, which was to support organisations outside the health service to develop their services, to help their staff develop, and to train their staff, because that was part of my training role as well, as I said earlier, is to train staff of organisations outside the health service. And these services that they were developing were put in place to support people who live in the communities around the country. The one thing that people need when looking at developing a business, whether it be to produce products or a service to people, is confidence. And that is one of the big issues for me when people are looking to develop their business, is how much confidence they have in what they're doing. It's also an area where people are not happy about saying, I lack confidence. It is a big issue. It's well known as a big issue, but people are reluctant to say it because they feel that if they say they lack confidence, that people will think they're a failure. Well, we all lack confidence in some areas of our personal and our professional lives. So lacking confidence is something we all go through, depending what we are doing at the time and depending what topics we're covering at the time. So it is important that we do acknowledge when we lack confidence, because when we acknowledge it, we can do something about it. And it means we can go off and get some help, try and find some help to enable us to once again get back to that place where we need to be, and that is to be confident. What is confidence? Well, confidence really is a feeling or a belief that you can achieve something, that you can do something, or that somebody else can do something. Okay? And very often when we lack confidence, that is what we lack. We think we can't do something, or we think that somebody else who's doing something for us can't do it. So we lack confidence then in taking our business forward. It's something we have to get over, because if we continually lack confidence, then our business won't move forward, and then we will not have a business to run. We will not be achieving the goals that we set ourselves to achieve. It's also very important when you're trying to gain some business. When you're talking to people about your business, when maybe you're looking as part of your marketing, you're pitching for business, if you're not confident, if people don't perceive you as being confident in your product or your service, then they're unlikely to buy your service or product. So it is important that you are confident in what you're doing. To be confident in what you're doing, you need to know what you're doing. You can't be confident if you don't know. The good thing about confidence, the good thing about self-confidence, is that it can be improved. It's not something that we sit back and say, we're not confident, we can't do anything about it, let's forget it. That's not true. Confidence can be improved. It can be improved providing we are committed to taking advice, looking for a bit of help and support from people, and committed then to following maybe some exercises or development training maybe, so that we can gain confidence in ourselves once again. And once we gain that confidence, we can then be up and running again. It's very important that confidence is there in us to move forward. Now, we need to look at our starting point. And the starting point when you're looking at self-confidence is, where are we now? What is our starting point? Do we know everything? Can we just go ahead and do everything? Well, if you're in that position, you're probably different to everybody else, because there is no one in that position. But we need to establish what knowledge we have, what skills we have, and what we need to develop in order to take things forward. I'm going to use the analogy of a journey for this, because gaining self-confidence is like a journey. It's a journey from your starting point, wherever that might be, to get into the stage of having the confidence to move forward and to achieve those goals that you've set yourself. So the first thing that we need to be doing is, let's look back at our lives. Depending what age we are, we may have further to look back than others. But if you look back on your life, what achievements have you made? What have you achieved in your life? Okay, it could be that you've got good pass marks in your exams. It could be that you played rugby for somebody or football for somebody. It could be that you've got some records, local records or national records, swimming. It could be a lot of things. Make a list of your achievements, because you'd be surprised how much you have achieved in your life. Not many people should have a problem with that, but if you do, then have a chat with a friend or a relative who can sit down with you and remind you of some of those achievements that you've achieved, some of those goals that you've achieved and achieved well. Okay, so you make that list and make it sort of 6 to 10 things, which is a nice list. It's not too long, but it's enough to show you that you have made a lot of achievements in your life. Another thing which is an important thing to do is look at your strengths. Make a list of your strengths. And we all have strengths, okay? Very often, particularly if we lack confidence, we find it much easier to list our weaknesses. But I want you to list your strengths, because making a list of your strengths will help you to move forward. Okay, and again, I would look at 6 to 10 things on that list to show you what you're doing and what you're doing well in life. It could be business, it could be personal, it doesn't matter. Okay, it really doesn't matter. And once again, if you really lack confidence and can't think of things to put on that list, then ask somebody, excuse me, then ask somebody to help you put things on that list, because that list will help you as you go through the process of gaining confidence. Now, for people who lack a lot of confidence, then one of the things that is a popular exercise to do is to look at those lists every day. Read through them every day. Some will say every day, some will say 3-4 times a week. But look at them, I would say, to start every day, just to remind yourself that you have achieved things, to remind yourself that you can do things, there are positive things and strengths in your life that you're doing on a daily basis. Okay, and that is a good starting point to gain back that self-confidence that maybe you think you're lacking at this point in time. Now, I look quite often, and people who know me will know this is a big topic for me. I look quite often at what are we trying to achieve? And people who work with me know that you look at your short-term goals and your long-term goals, your vision for, say, 10 years' time. And if you're one of these people who lack confidence and I say to you, what do you want in 10 years' time? You may have a few difficulties doing that. So in terms of this exercise today, in terms of this talk, I'm going to look at someone who may be building up a business, and in 10 years' time, they want to be able to work from anywhere in the world. They want to have built their business up so that they're only having to work part-time, and they're bringing in enough money to fund their lifestyle as they see fit. They want to be bringing in a 6-figure sum, at least. How do we get there? Because if you're lacking confidence, you're going to be saying, hang on, pal, how am I going to get there? Well, we start off by looking at what do you need to do to get there. So that's what you want in 10 years' time. Let's look at what you're going to achieve in 5 years' time. So that brings the goals down a bit and a bit more realistic in how we see things. Then we bring them down to 3 years' time, and 2 years, and 1 year. And then we'll bring them down even further. We will look at bringing them down to 6 months, 3 months, 2 months, 1 month. And when we bring those goals down to what we need to achieve now, so that we are working towards that vision that we have, those goals become far more achievable. And your first goal may just be, I need to find out about something, so I need to do some training, or I need to contact somebody who has that information. So already your goals are down to an achievable level. And once you have contacted somebody, you have achieved a goal. and that is a strength. And that now will build on your confidence. You will go forward and you will look at building up on that. And it may be that you have to learn. Let's look at learning to advertise on Facebook. So you find somebody who's able to teach you that, and then maybe you have to do a course. You do that course, at the end of which you can now advertise on Facebook. So now you're doing more than what you were doing when you started. These things will build your confidence. Okay? Every time you achieve one small step, it's a small step towards more confidence and gaining the amount of confidence you need to take things forward. This is the case in life, and this is the case in business. Goal planning is a topic on its own. I will be doing a hangout on goal planning at some point. I'll talk about it in a bit more depth, and it's something that I support people to do when coaching. It is a big topic in itself, but it is a very good way of building up your confidence very slowly. But what happens is you start off with small steps, and then you get the confidence to maybe do larger steps. And each time you achieve those steps or those goals, you will gain confidence. And you will gain confidence in yourself and gain confidence to take things forward. The other thing that is very important when you're on a journey of this nature is to be committed for the whole journey. If you decide to go on a journey of this nature, set up a business, and at the first sign of trouble, you lack the confidence to do something, or you can't get the hang of something, you can't achieve it, for whatever reason, that's it, I'm giving up. I'm going to give it up, I'm going to try something else. That will not help with your confidence building. You have to go through the whole journey. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that you will be able to do every little thing that has to be done to achieve that. But either you will achieve it, or you will have arranged for somebody else to do that for you and to achieve it. So in effect, you've organized for that to be achieved. That in itself is a step forward and a positive and a strength for you, that you've organized for it to be done. So you've overcome something that maybe would have put you off before. That is very important. You must go the whole journey. Okay? It's very difficult to suddenly have confidence. One of the problems with achieving confidence is being overconfident, which can have similar effects to underconfidence. Let me explain. If you don't have enough confidence, then what will happen is you won't achieve your goals. You won't get very far with your goals because there will be steps or goals that you need to do. You won't do them and you won't get anywhere. Or if you're trying to pitch for a business with somebody, it won't happen. They'll see you're not confident, and they will then not have confidence in you because you're not confident in what you're doing. So that's another issue. If you're overconfident, then the same thing can happen. People will think, ooh, he's a bit overconfident there. And then it's bye-bye, because they don't want someone who's overconfident, because people who are overconfident can miss things. If you're in your own business and overconfident, you can miss things. You can become a bit laissez-faire, a bit blasé, and that can affect your business as well. It's a fine line to tread. I think for me, a measure is that someone is not so overconfident that they know it all. They're not so overconfident that they don't need to review things, because that is a way of measuring and assessing where things are at and how well things are going. And that is part of the goal planning process, which again I will talk about at another time. So being overconfident can also cause problems. Interesting, I've had a couple of messages in saying that how important goal planning is. I'm glad that there are people out there who agree with me. And also from one person, I won't name the person, but one person who's come on to say that she has a tendency to hit a problem and either change the goal or give up. With goal planning, then it can happen. You can make it happen, okay? Please don't be afraid to ask for help, because sometimes that's what happens. We hit a problem and we say we can't do it and we walk away, or we change the goal, or we change what we're doing. With goal planning, you say, how do I get over this problem? And if it means consulting with somebody else, then that is what you do. You consult with that other person and you get over the problem. When you get over the problem, the satisfaction you will feel of getting over it is really good. You'll feel really pleased with yourself, and that will improve your self-confidence. You will feel more confident to be able to take things forward. Okay? What I'd like to do now is just to finish off with, there are a lot of exercises people can do with confidence. I've already mentioned a couple. Listing your achievements and reading through them daily. Listing your strengths and reading through them daily. And don't forget, when you're doing that, you add to them as you go through your business development. You add to your achievements. You add to your strengths. So that list becomes longer. Okay? Don't be afraid to make mistakes. We all make mistakes. As long as you acknowledge your mistakes and you go back and then you put it right. Whether it be you putting it right, or whether you think, hang on, I've made a mistake there because I wasn't sure what I was doing. Let's get the information to correct it, to do it tidy. So it could be consulting with somebody else again. Okay, so there's lots of things around. And I think I mentioned it earlier, but I'm certainly going to mention it now. None of us are perfect. None of us know everything. But we all know something. So we can all help each other. We can all support each other to take things forward. We need to be positive. That's another technique that can be used. When you're hitting some negatives, start turning it to a positive. You hit a problem, and instead of saying, oh, I don't know where to go with this, I'm lost. I can't go any further, I'm lost. Turn that around and say, right, this is what I need. I don't have the information, but I'm going to find somebody who has that information, or somebody who can help me get through it. and then you move forward on that. You may have a couple of smaller goals to achieve before you get through that one, and then you get through it. And all these things build up your confidence. It's very important to be confident in all parts of your business. People see the confidence, or the lack of it, or the overconfidence. So it is very important that you get that fine line just right. Okay? There's lots of exercises out there. I'm not going to go through them all. But you are welcome to contact me at any time if you want some help with anything. Okay? I have some free phone calls, free time that you can phone me up with. Please link in and phone up. Just want to mention as well before I finish that you've seen on the website about some exciting things coming up soon. There are going to be a number of webinars coming up early June, and please keep a lookout for them. There are some excellent speakers going to be on this, and please keep a lookout for them. It is going to be an exciting week. I'm looking forward to them, and I'm looking forward to learning from them and to increase my knowledge and skills and increase my confidence. And that is something you can be doing that week as well. Signing on for that week and learning from the people who are speaking so that you can learn from them and gaining confidence in what you're doing. And that actually could be a positive step which you could be taking from today. If nothing else, you can be signing on to webinars and learning from people, and then you gaining confidence in what you're doing. And maybe you passing that on to somebody else, because that is important as well. It's important we support each other. It's important that we all move forward together and support each other. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for listening. I do appreciate it. I appreciate the company, and it's been great talking to you. And thank you very much for the comments as well. If there are any more comments you want, just email them in. If there's any questions or whatever, send them in, and I will get back to you with the answers, or with my opinions and my knowledge, and hopefully that will help you with your confidence. Thank you very much. Please link in next week. The webinar next week will be on Wednesday. I haven't got the time yet, but it will be on Wednesday next week, and I will make sure that I put the arrangements out before the end of this week so people can plan for next week. Okay, so thank you very much. Hope to see you again next week, and take care. Bye-bye.